Have you ever heard of a science fiction story written almost 2,000 years ago? No, I'm not kidding. Forget Jules Verne. Forget H.G. Wells. We're talking about a guy named Lucian of Samosata, a Roman-era Greek satirist, who penned what many consider to be the world's first ever sci-fi tale. It's called A True History, and trust me, the title is completely ironic. Lucian starts his story by straight up telling the reader that everything he's about to say is a lie. What a legend. He claims he and his crew set sail past the Pillars of Hercules, the edge of the known world, and were promptly swept up into the sky by a giant whirlwind. For 7 days and 7 nights, they sailed through the air until they landed on the moon. And this isn't just a barren, rocky landscape. The moon is a full-blown kingdom, inhabited by beings called the Hippogypoi, or vulture horsemen, who ride on 3-headed vultures. They're in the middle of a massive interplanetary war against the king of the sun, a guy named Phaethon. And what are they fighting over? The right to colonize Venus. They have armies of giant spiders that spin webs across the void of space for their soldiers to march on, and their warriors fight with giant mushroom shields and asparagus spears. I mean, the creativity is just off the charts. Lucian and his crew even get recruited to fight in this cosmic battle. They witness warriors who have removable eyes, so they can lend them to others or just keep them safe at home. They encounter cloud centaurs, slingers who launch giant turnips, and soldiers who literally bleed air. It's a surreal, bizarre, and utterly hilarious spectacle that predates Star Wars by nearly 2 millennia. After their lunar adventure, they eventually make their way back to the sea, only to be immediately swallowed by a colossal whale. And when I say colossal, I mean this thing is 200 miles long. Inside its belly isn't just darkness and stomach acid. It's a whole new world. There are forests, mountains, and an entire population of fish people living in tribes. They've been trapped there for generations, building houses and living their lives completely inside this sea monster. Lucian and his crew spend over 2 years there, even fighting a war against other captive tribes of giant sea creatures. How do they get out? They decide to set the whale's internal forest on fire. The beast eventually suffocates from the smoke, and they manage to prop its jaws open and sail out. But their journey isn't over. They sail through a sea of milk to reach an island of cheese, navigate past giants, sailing on floating islands, and even visit the Isle of the Blessed, a version of the afterlife, where they hang out with Homer, Socrates, and other legendary figures. Lucian's A True History is more than just a silly story. It's a brilliant satire, poking fun at the historians and travelers of his time who would tell outrageously exaggerated tales and pass them off as fact. By admitting he's lying from the start, Lucian gives himself the freedom to create the wildest, most imaginative adventure possible. He was parodying travelogues, but in the process, he accidentally invented a genre. Space travel, alien life, interplanetary warfare, it's all there, in a text from the 2nd century. So next time you're watching a sci-fi blockbuster, remember Lucian of Samosata. He was the original space cowboy, exploring strange new worlds long before it was cool. It just goes to show that human imagination has always been limitless. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this trip back in time, be sure to like and subscribe for more deep dives into history's hidden gems.